KSI is a UK-based boxer, musician, YouTuber, content creator, etc, etc. I personally have been following KSI since he was playing horror games with his brother, Deji, all the way back before the Sidemen. He's easily one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to content creation on this platform. In fact, one of the games he played way back in the day, The Stanley Parable, was one of the first playthroughs I had ever watched from a YouTuber.
Did they wank? He must have wanked.
All this is to say, I'm really excited to get into this documentary that he's about to release, KSI in Real Life. As I'm recording this right now, it is January 25th, the day before the documentary's release, and I wanted to outline my expectations before I view it and my thoughts after the experience, all in this one video. So let's get into it. As far as expectations go, I really don't know what to expect. JJ has been hinting at this being one of the most vulnerable pieces of media to him during his Reddit videos.
Yeah, obviously you've got a documentary coming out as well. Can't wait for that. Pain! Yeah, that's gonna be great. So anyway,
and from these teasers, it definitely seems to be a closer look into his general trials and tribulations as of late. I'm sure we're gonna get a light shed on his boxing career and how that's changed his mindset on everything, as I'm assuming the recording of this documentary took place throughout the training of his fight for Dildo Danis, which was switched to the FaZe dude last minute due to Danis dropping out, which sucked. Or maybe the documentary covers time before that, I don't know. If you follow JJ and his past dramas, I guess we can call them, he does have the odd family problem or two, which I guess who doesn't, but it seems as though we might get some light shed on what goes on behind closed doors with their family. My biggest question though when it comes to that is I wonder how willing they are to record that, you know what I mean? Or rather, I wonder how willing the people around JJ are to open up their lives to this documentary and not only talking about his family, but also possibly the Sidemen. Will we see them in this? I'm wondering if we will. I'm hoping we do. Anyways, before we move into the viewing portion of the video, I just want to list out what the IMDb has down for the people working on this project. Wesley Pollitt seems to be the director. A quick peek through his filmography shows that he has a knack for real-life scene directing, as most of it seems to be centered around real-life events and situations, which seems promising to me. When it comes to the music in the documentary, Gary Welch is listed, who actually did the music for Whitney Houston's documentary all the way back in 2018, which that seems pretty cool. And those are the main people I see here of note. I'm sure the credits will prove me wrong. But anyways, I think that's enough of the pre-documentary chatter. I'm going to stop the recording and get a good night's rest so that I can be ready for when the film comes out. What time does it come out? Wow. It is January 26th. I just finished watching the film and I have my notes. I'm ready to talk about it. First and foremost, I want to touch on the shot composition and directing for the film. Overall, brilliant work. I found myself several times in awe of the establishing shots that they were using of the different locations, and even just some of the interview shots were brilliant. Time-wise, the documentary follows really the body of KSI's career, or at the very least, I think things really kick off after the Reading Leeds festival that he performed at. Great documentation of that. It was really cool to see it behind the scenes and the nerve/excitement that he has, you know, surrounding that situation. One of the biggest underlying foundations of the film, though, was the idea that while JJ's fame went up, his relationships with his family and loved ones kind of went down. And I mean, this was not something that was entirely a secret. Like I mentioned before, JJ's drama with his brother and his family during the Christmas time was a situation that was widely known. If you know, watch the Sidemen videos, watch his personal videos, it was a thing that they were publicly going through. But in this documentary, we get a more intimate look into what his thought process was and how he was dealing with it all, as well as a more detailed look on JJ's childhood with his parents and how that really panned into how it is today. One of the more jarring scenes out of the entire film really was when he was talking about his parents and the idea and concept of love between family, and he cried for like what I want to say is one of the first times we've really seen JJ cry. I mean, I'm trying to think in the past and like what video or situation brought up tears, but this was like another level for sure. That was crazy to see. Delving deeper into relationships and how his life has changed, he also speaks on his then ex-girlfriend, but now current girlfriend who he had problems with during the rise of his fame. But again, a lot of this film was taking these things that we kind of already know and getting a closer look into how it was and how he dealt with it. Another cylinder that he went over when it comes to relationships is Deji. Deji was another big person featured in the film, as I think we all expected. I will say though, it did hurt to see Deji getting beat again by Alex Wasabi. I didn't want to see Alex's face ever again because of what he did to KSI, just dropping out of the fight like that.
I could easily beat KSI. 100%. I've met him in person. Just the way he walks is like slow.
It was a painful rewatch to see Deji lose again. But again, I guess in hindsight, it's fine knowing that he beat Fuzi too. I think my favorite scene in the film though has to go to when JJ was talking about this juxtaposition of the KSI character that he created all those years ago when he first started YouTube. The idea of this alpha male, rich, dressed in Gucci rapper person who you know, acted a certain way, and who he truly became being, you know. It was not only entertaining to see that, but it was also a great show of understanding and growth. You know, if I had to cut this documentary down to one word, it would be growth. Seeing him go from where he was before, seeing him face the things that he had to, and, you know, turning out the way he is today. I think that kind of wraps the pros that I see for the movie. A lot of great cinematography, strong focus on a purpose and thesis for the entire documentary, and overall good pacing for the entire movie as well. I didn't feel like I was watching Lord of the Rings, the extended cut or something like that. It didn't overstay its welcome at all. On a more critical scale, as far as cons with the movie goes, not very many of them. The cons I have written down are really just nitpicky. My first one that I wrote down was melodramatic. Like the whole intro sequence and like some of the comment section bits, which I mean, I guess they're cringy because of the comments, but it was still just a bit over dramatic, really. You can argue that that's the purpose for the documentary at times, but it was still a bit much. And the second thing I had down here actually was I would have liked to see more in the way of different interviews from different individuals. I guess mainly I'm talking about the sidemen. I think the sidemen only showed up like a couple of times. It wasn't even all of them. It was like, you know, I think Vic, Harry, a few cameos here and there, but nothing outstanding, which is weird to me just because, you know, at least from what we saw out of this film, the sidemen are really his only close friends. We didn't see any mates coming around to his flat or anything of that sort. It was really just laser focused on this family aspect and on this family foundation, which is a good thing but also a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword. Basically what I'm saying is I would have liked to see a different variation of people speak about him and speak about their experience with him, even just from a working standpoint. I know that he's had a lot of collaborations. I know that he's had a lot of business partners. I would have liked to see them say something on the matter, maybe speak about a little bit more about the behind the scenes situations with them. But again, I guess in a hindsight perspective, with this shorter runtime that they had going, it was clear that they wanted to focus on this family aspect, focus on his journey with his relationship and his family, and you know, highlighting that, which I can respect. All in all, a great experience. I recommend watching it if you want more insight on KSI's life. We definitely see the more vulnerable sides of him, which is crazy, a rarity I think you can call it. And yeah, big ups to, you know, KSI and everything that he's doing. I'm proud of another piece of content like this being released. I'm curious as to what he's gonna do next. Anyways, that's all from me. I'm not gonna add a conclusion section to this video. I think it's all pretty plain put out. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. Comment something. Comment how you disagree with me. Go ahead. Just comment how you hate the film. I don't know. Actually, comment your whole critical analysis. You know, maybe you left with some more cons or some more pros that I may have missed. Just let me know. Drop a comment. I wonder how many fact checkers I'm gonna get on here. I wonder how many people are gonna watch the film and then be like, actually, you got this wrong, buddy. You got it wrong. And I'm doing the fade out now. What should I do for the fade out? I should do my best English accent. Hello, mate. My name is Harry, and I want to eat some Nando's. That was bad. That was bad. I should never do that again.
That's kind of cool.
No one
That's
else
kind
is
of
doing
cool.
it.
To be fair though,
To be fair though,
What
what?
happened there?
To be fair,
To be
though,
fair
what?
though, what? Vic?
did I? I thought it was Harry that said that.
I don't think I said that.
No, Vic, you literally said.
You
To
just-
be
Oh,
fair, though.
wait, no, I was